San Diego, 2009. "It's your first day of college, sweetheart. Are you excited?" Mom said, her red hair dancing in the breeze drifting through the passenger window of Dad's silver Range Rover. Dad squeezed her hand and beamed a proud smile in my direction in the rearview mirror. "Over the moon," I said, bright-eyed as we pulled onto campus. The University of San Diego was breathtaking. It ranked as the nation's most beautiful campus for years running. It sat on a hill overlooking the San Diego Bay and the Pacific Ocean. The Spanish Renaissance-inspired buildings were white with red-tiled roofs, arches, and stucco facades. Fuchsia flowers and ivy covered its walls, and vibrant green lawns sprawled in front of Maher, my new dorm building. People played frisbee and read on the grass just like in the movies. Joyful flutters swirled inside of me. I felt like a princess who had finally found her castle. It sure looked like a castle. This was it. This is where everything would change. I would find myself here like people do in college. No more pretending to be something I'm not. Popularity in high school was easy, but the vapid conversations and the superficiality were all a farce. For me, at least. I did what I had to do to fit in because my fear of not being liked was far greater than my disdain for pretending. Lucky for me, I joined the local theater at 8 years old. This was lucky for 2 reasons. First, it uncovered my destiny, that I was meant to be an award-winning actress. At least that's what I thought for the majority of my life. Second, and more importantly for this story, it taught me the skill of pretending, how to become someone else. I had unknowingly become a chameleon on and off the stage. This seamlessly complemented a gift I was born with, one I would later recognize as a powerful intuition. This allowed me to energetically sense what each situation and person needed in every single moment. Then, with my newfound acting ability, I became that person, whether I liked that person or not. I couldn't wait to discover who I actually was over the next 4 years, and to meet other people who wanted to have meaningful conversation like things about poetry and movies and other things I liked that I didn't even know about yet. One thing was certain, I would not be caught dead rushing a sorority. I was over the mirage of the status quo. I wanted something tangible. College held the possibility of real connection. Mom and Dad helped me unload the car, and I began decorating the small corner of my dorm room. I wasn't the procrastinating type, and decorating was in my blood. Every week for as long as I can remember, the Stones spent every Sunday going to church, followed by open houses and furniture stores. Quite odd when I look back at it, but at the time it was a blast. Dad believed in visualization full-heartedly, so before we could afford a nice house, we would imagine what it would be like to live in one of those gorgeous model homes. My brother and I would run through the houses claiming our fake rooms and talking about what changes we'd make, down to the paint trim. Dad said the details made it real. The more you could feel the new reality, the quicker it would come. Dad stood on the balcony gazing at the breathtaking campus beyond my doorstep. "You did it, Spency. This place is a dream," Dad said proudly, in a tone usually reserved for my brother. "Told you I would," I said matter of fact, even though my heart swelled as I unpacked my first box of decor. The truth was, Dad being proud of me is what I wanted most in the entire world. But things had been so tense with us during my senior year, I didn't really know how to act around him anymore. Mom folded my clothes and placed them in my dresser as I taped my retro Las Vegas poster to the wall above my twin bed. Growing up in Las Vegas was something I loved about who I was. Plus, it intrigued people like crazy. And honestly, that was probably what I liked most about it. "Well, I guess it's time to head out," Mom said teary-eyed. She always wore her emotions on her sleeve. I'd missed that. With all the newness, it hadn't dawned on me until that exact moment how much I'd miss her. Mom pulled me in a hug, and neither of us wanted to let go. I knew the second I did, I would officially be alone in this unfamiliar world. I hugged Dad next and wondered if I'd messed up with my stubbornness. Would I regret not spending the past year getting closer to him? Wasn't that what I actually wanted? I brushed the thought aside. Now was the time to think about college, sex, and the brand new me. After I finished unpacking, I sat on my bed biting my cuticles, waiting for something to happen. I briefly met my roommate, Cindy, when she dropped off a bag of new textbooks, and she said all of but 2 words to me. I had imagined dorm life a million times, and it always included a zesty, troublemaking partner-in-crime roommate with whom I'd immediately become best friends. Movies always paint life in grander strokes than reality. It's surreal how you can imagine a moment you're looking forward to so many times that you psych yourself out, and when the moment actually comes, you have no idea what to do. I officially had no idea what I was doing. The lack of control made the room spin, and the vast unknown threatened to swallow me whole. And then a lifeboat appeared. Eruptive laughter from the dorm beside mine. Thank God. I jumped out and popped my head out the door to investigate. A petite girl with incredibly tan skin and brown pigtails carried a box into the room. The box was almost as big as her. I walked by their door slowly and pretended to be on the phone. "Okay, Mom, I promise. Talk to you later," I mimed and hung up. "Hey, are you our new neighbor?" The second girl, tall and skinny with ghost pale skin, asked. "We saw you unpacking your boxes with your parents." These two girls couldn't look more opposite. "Yeah, I'm Spencer," I said, leaning on the doorway trying to look cool. "Cool, I'm Emma," the pale one said, shaking my hand. Holy shit, Emma's eyes were the bluest I'd ever seen. Envy blazed at the thought of my boring brown eyes. "I'm Abby," the short one said, waving her small hand at me from across the room. Abby had brown hair and brown eyes like me, but there was an innocence to her that was stunning. "Where are you guys from?" I asked. "Lake Havasu," Emma answered. "Well, technically, I'm from Alaska," Abby said. Abby was stunning and from Alaska. She'd be fighting the suitors off. I prayed she couldn't smell the jealousy that wafted off me. "But Abby grew up in Havasu. That's how we know each other," Emma said with a slight tone of annoyance. "Oh, that's awesome," I said. "How's your roommate?" Abby asked as she tried on one USD baseball cap after another. "About as exciting as a glass of water," I said without missing a beat. They both burst into laughter. People laughing at my jokes was definitely one of my love languages. "You're funny," Emma said, throwing a stuffed animal at me. I caught it. "And solid reflexes," Emma continued. "What do you think, Ab? Do you think we found our third?" "Third?" My nerves buzzed. Was this the moment I'd been praying for? "Yes, we were just saying we wanted a trio. So many good words start with T. Talented trio, tenacious trio, tasty trio." Well, my mom would tell you I'm talented, my dad would tell you I'm tenacious, and my boyfriend would definitely tell you that I'm tasty. Hook, line, sinker. "Oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with her, Em," Abby said as she threw on a baby blue USD sweatshirt with the tag still on. And just like that, I had 2 new friends and 4 years of freedom ahead of me. What could possibly go wrong?